Hello everyone, my name is Dee. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back if you have been here before. Today we are going to be doing a messages from your person reading. Okay, we're going to get all into what it is that they want to say to you, and then we will pull some oracle cards for the current energy of the connection between you both. With all of that said, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, then it is not meant for you. For pile 1, we have labradorite. For pile 2, we have amethyst. And for pile 3, we have opalite. Hello, pile 1, my labradorite pile. Let's take a look at what your person wants to say to you. Let's see what it is that has been on their mind, maybe what have they been struggling to get off their chest. I always start these with the intention of it being someone no contact or in contact, so it could be either or, and then we just kind of see what comes out along the way. So let's see what it is that this person, way too many cards just shot out of the deck, but that's a good thing because maybe they've got a lot to get off their chest per se. So now let's see, let's try to get one card at a time. Okay, and we've got two. We've got something is still missing for me, and I'm trying to figure out what that is, as well as your words linger in my mind. My mind and heart always comes back to you. Okay. I'm sorry I couldn't do right by you. And I know you're right, but I need to come to my own conclusions. I'm going to get some messages from the other decks, and then I'll kind of clean it all up a little bit. But this is what we've got so far. Now let's see what else. What does pile 1's person have to say? I see a little part of you in everyone I meet. You're all I've ever wanted. Karma is a bitch. I finally got mine. I can't give up on my responsibilities right now. And you still take my breath away. And now let's get an additional message or 3 from a little deck that I put together. And then we will get some of the oracle cards out here. I feel like you could do better. Please give me a hint that you feel the same way as I do. You are so special to me. Oh, and I usually like shuffle whatever was left before I end it, and then we also have I am sorry that I didn't treat you well. And while I was cleaning that up, I found this card underneath the you are so special to me, and it says I am selfish and I only care about myself. I find that very interesting here. I'm gonna have to put it over here because I wanted to get enough room in for the oracle cards as well. But I find that very interesting just based on a couple of the other messages that came out. Them not being able to give up on their responsibilities. Them not treating you well in some way. Them being sorry that they couldn't do right by you. Them knowing that you're right perhaps about the connection that the two of you share, but them finding that they need to come to their own conclusions perhaps versus trying to work on the connection with you. As well as the something is missing for me and I'm trying to figure out what that is. So to me, it does seem as though within this connection, obviously we're going to pull cards as far as the current energy, but for me, it does seem as though within this connection, it's almost like, for me, I'm sort of getting the vibe that at times you might have felt like you had to wait for this person, or you've been waiting for this person, and particularly at times you felt like you've been waiting for this person to catch up to you. You know, whether it's in terms of the way that you feel about them, whether it's in terms of emotional intimacy, whether it's in terms of moving the connection forward and deepening the level of commitment within it. It seems as though you've been waiting on this person to, let's say, get their shit together in some way, shape, or form. With that said, I would say that perhaps this connection could be low or no contact with one another. However, I don't feel like that's a given here. I feel like that would be maybe for some of us it's low or no contact, but for others we might still be involved, or this person might still be involved in our lives. And aside from them not really, as far as this goes, seemingly making positive movement toward you, let's say, it does seem as though they're still very much so stuck on you with some of these cards that are here. You know, like very attracted to you. Your words still linger in their mind. And to me, that could even come through as perhaps you've admitted your feelings for them, or you have expressed your want and need for the connection to move forward. And again, they haven't exactly, let's say, acted right within this connection. They haven't exactly met you where it is that you're at. But at the same time, it doesn't seem as though they're ready to let this connection go yet. It's almost like maybe at a standstill for some of us, or stagnant for some of us, where this person, again, hasn't exactly done anything to advance the connection, but also hasn't really let us go yet. I hope that makes sense. Let's get some cards out here for the current energy of the connection. And let's see what's been going on between you two as far as the current energy. So, of course, straight to the floor. We have the Unsaid card. Okay, showing, I just want to make sure I get everything. There we go. Showing I love you or I like you without physically saying it, didn't say it yet. And again, in some way, shape, or form, this person has not said what it is that they need to say, advance the connection in the way that maybe the two of you eventually do want the connection to go in. Whatever the case might be, it does seem as though there are some things left unsaid between the two of you, and mainly on your person's side. Okay, and I would say that because of your words still linger, or your words linger in my mind, and even the card next to it, my mind and heart always comes back to you. It's almost as though you yourself have said what it is that you need to say to this person, but they have not reciprocated, or they have not said what it is that they need to say. And that could be part of the reason, that unfinished business, or those words left unsaid between the two of you, could definitely be part of the reason why this person is still stuck on you. Oh, and straight to the floor again. I even tried moving, because I haven't been recording in the same spot that I usually record in, and I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it so that the cards don't fall automatically to the floor, but they keep doing it. We have the Mask card, not showing their true feelings. We also have hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. Maybe for some of us it was really bad, like really, really super bad, but I do feel like I don't really get that much of a vibe of this person being, of course it's right on. I'll just stick that card right there for now. Okay, like at least as we go over it, so it's not directly in the glare. But I don't feel like for most of us there was anything, let's say, like abusive or emotionally manipulative going on when it comes to this connection. But of course, for some of us, that could be the case. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. But for a majority of us, I feel like the way in which this person didn't treat you well, I feel like the way in which this person is selfish, is the fact that for some of them, it's almost like they expect you to wait for them. And they expect you to wait for them in that sense of them catching up to you. Like that to me would be perhaps one of the most likely things that's going on here. That this person's been selfish about, or that this person's not treating you well about. That they didn't treat you right, or they didn't do right by you, is the fact that at times they did not give their time, effort, and energy. At times they did not deepen the level of commitment here. At times they did not express themselves when they should have expressed themselves. And I feel like even when it comes to this message right here, karma is a bitch, I finally got mine. To me, it almost comes up as maybe either you've moved on, or they feel like you're moving on, And seeing you move on or seeing you move forward from this situation versus continuing to stay stuck on them is something for them that could feel like karma, like they didn't do what they had to do when they had the chance to do it, and now they're feeling all butthurt about it. So that could be part of it. But to me, it just seems as though there wasn't, it like, to me, this doesn't read as, because I would say it if it did, this doesn't read as somebody who was a complete, like, this doesn't read as somebody who was, let's say, completely manipulative and abusive in some way. This seems like to me somebody who was perhaps very insecure, someone who even more so was insecure about the place that they were at in life, and somebody that really has difficulty expressing themselves, more so than this person being like someone who would gaslight you or pretend or manipulate or play you type of thing. But of course, as always, take what resonates and leave the rest, because maybe for some of us, we very much did get played by this person, and you get to sit there and know that karma finally got around and got to them. But for most of us, I feel like this is just someone who didn't say what they needed to say when they should have said it, and they did not show you how it was that they truly felt about you when they had the opportunity to do so. And in some ways, this person just kind of expects you, or in the past had expected you to to basically wait around for them. And what I always say about waiting around is when we wait around for others, we are causing a disservice to ourselves, because we are missing out on other meaningful experiences within our love life. We have the separation card, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, and unsure of the future. And I do feel like this person, this is going to be directly in the glare too, so let me shift it there. We're going to have a very weird lineup today, it seems. But here, I'll put the crystal in the glare. But to me, it just seems as though for some of us, again, we are in separation from this person, or we're not really talking to this person full time anymore at this point in time. And I feel like as far as the romantic aspect of this connection, that is something that's, let's say, currently in separation. You know, like that the two of you are not going after one another romantically at this point in time. To me, it seems as though for some of us that are listening to this, we might have gotten a bit irritated with having to wait around for this person. And not only that, but I feel like, again, if this person themselves, this message came out hidden behind another card, mind you, which kind of brings me back to the unsaid or the mask card of not showing their true feelings. You know, this person wants you to continue to give them hints that you're still there for them, or that you're still feeling the same type of way about them. But they're not in a place yet to move this connection forward. They still can't give up on their responsibilities right now. Something is still missing for them. You know, there's something that's going on in their life, or it's just them in general that's continuing to hold themselves back, let's say, when it comes to moving this connection forward, when it comes to, you know, putting in time, effort, and energy. To me, it just seems as though, again, this person, like you yourself, might have been irritated having to constantly wait for this person to catch up to you, let's say. We finish out with the card, me and my ego. Pride or fear in the way, not contacting you, but thinking of you often and replaying over in mind. This to me too. Again, for some of us, I do feel like this is a no contact situation. For others, it could very well be that at times this person is still in our lives, but I would say that this person is not in your life in a romantic way anymore. I feel like for you, that ship has come and it has sailed. And part of the reason why it has sailed is because you got sick of waiting around for this person and them continuing to not. It's almost like, too, even with that, please give me a hint that you feel the same way as I do, leads me to this person expecting time, effort, and energy out of you, but them not really being willing to give you the time, effort, and energy that you need. Okay, and I do feel like when it comes to this connection, this person has you very much so on their mind still. They're still stuck on you. And again, it leads me back to what I was saying before, where it's almost like this person doesn't or is not in, like, let's say they're not in the mindset or they're not in a place in their life to move this connection forward, but they're not willing to let you go either. So I feel like when it comes to this connection, this person's, again, got you very much so on their mind, but they're still not doing what it is that they need to do. You know, they're still not putting time, effort, and energy into the connection. They're still focused on whatever their responsibilities are. They're still, at times, selfish and only caring or worrying about themselves at the end of the day. They're still trying to, not just figure out what's missing within this connection, but for me, it's more so they're trying to figure out what's missing in their life or within themselves that makes it so difficult for them to feel confident or stable or secure in themselves and in their position in life. It's not just about, I feel, the connection. I feel like this person has issues when it comes to, let's say, sharing or showing their true feelings, that they perhaps have issues when it comes to emotional intimacy and so on and so forth. So it's like there's a couple things that are missing in their life. Not just in regard, I feel like that first card, or the point that I'm trying to make is that first card, I don't feel is just about the connection. I also feel like it's about certain aspects of their life. Certain things for them are still missing. Maybe they don't feel settled enough within their own lives. That's why they can't give up on their responsibilities right now. And that's why sometimes a lot of their actions come off as selfish, because they're expecting they're expecting you to be able to cater to them in a certain way, but they know that they're incapable of giving you much of their time, effort, and energy, which, again, I feel like that would be something that maybe you had to deal with when the two of you were more, let's say, closely connected, or in one another's lives on a full-time basis. But either way you slice it, the current energy of this connection seems to be separated. It seems like this person has you on their mind a lot. It seems like they really do hold themselves back from contacting you. But even more so, they have, throughout the time of this connection, held themselves back from communicating with you, especially in the sense of them expressing themselves to you. Okay, so that's what it seems like to me. It seems like this person struggles with communication, and it seems like this person struggles with emotional intimacy or expressing their emotions. And that has been something that's going to continue, and that's been something that has, at times, really negatively affected this connection. I hope that makes sense in some way. Pile 1, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Hello, Pile 2, my amethyst pile. Let's see what it is that your person has to say. What have they been wanting to get off their chest? Let's see. Pile 2, what is on your person's mind? What messages do they have for you today? I feel safer in the silence. So immediately, I said this to pile 1 as well. I should probably preface it at the beginning of readings when I do this. But I usually go in with the intention that it could bring up people that are in contact or people that are no contact. And with I feel safer in the silence starting us out, I would say that the two of you are probably no contact for the most part. I should have been more honest with you about how I was feeling at the time. I can't ignore the signs that I am receiving any longer. Something is still missing for me, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. And I feel badly for the way that I treated you. You didn't deserve that. Not them. You didn't deserve that. Now, let's get some other cards out here, and then I will clean everything up. So, pile 2, what does your person have to say? This card wanted to jump out. I've thought about reaching out to you, but then I stopped myself. Okay, so I just had 3 kind of, but I'm going to put them back in the deck to see which ones stay, if any of them stay. You are never far from my mind. Karma's a bitch. I finally got mine. And I need to go my own way for a while. Okay, so I'm not going to keep, and I need to go my own way for a while is the one that stuck. That jumped out again. You are special to me, even though I told you otherwise. I am really bad at commitment. And I know I made a huge mistake. Okay, let me clean this up quick. And now let's get some cards from a deck that I made. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's stuck in my sleeve. I want to reach out to you, but I know I've hurt you too badly in the past. I am sorry that I didn't treat you well. Oh, and what are you? How many times do I have to apologize? Probably for the rest of your life, and I'm not sure how good it will do. Just because it does seem like, of course, what I always preface the, I'm really bad at commitment card with is the fact that being bad at commitment doesn't always mean that this person cheated on you. Even the problems and them treating you poorly, it doesn't always mean that they were a cheater or a player or didn't, did something horrible and awful. It could also very well mean that this person did not commit their time, effort, and energy to you. That this person is perhaps at times fearful of commitment and was never really willing to, let's say, go the extra mile or deepen the level of commitment. That at times you might have felt like second best or like this person did not prioritize you. So again, we could very well be working with 2 different realms here. People that were not giving you your time, effort, or energy, or someone that, so basically what I'm trying to say here is, when it comes to whoever's listening to this, it could be that this person was a cheater and a player and they treated you very poorly within the connection, or it could be, in another sense, they treated you very poorly by not prioritizing you, not putting in their time, effort, and energy, being fearful of deepening the level of commitment within the connection, being a little commitment phobic, and never really giving you fully what it was that you would want, need, deserve, and desire from this romantic connection. Okay? I also feel like we have a couple of similar ideas continuing to come out here. I've thought about reaching out to you, but then I stopped myself, along with I want to reach out to you, but I know that I've hurt you badly in the past. And then we have, I'm sorry I didn't treat you well. I feel badly for the way that I treated you. There was something, even that I've hurt you badly in the past. Whatever the case might be, it seems like this person knows that they've made a huge mistake when it comes to this connection, knows that they have to apologize, perhaps even in some instances have apologized to you because of that. How many times do I have to apologize card? But whatever they did, whether it was them being bad at commitment in the sense that they were a cheater and a liar and a scumlord, or if they were bad at commitment because they were not showing up for you and prioritizing the connection, this person has definitely had many a misstep when it comes to this connection. They've definitely made a lot of mistakes. They've made mistakes that perhaps have really pushed you away and led you to not really want to explore this connection further with them. Okay, at least for some of them. Okay, at least for some of us. We really are unsure of and uncertain of whether or not we would even want to be bothered with this connection in our lives again because of the way that this person has treated us in the past. Okay, and I also feel like when it comes to this person, they're still apprehensive. And part of that apprehension or that hesitancy to move forward or to maybe try to apologize or to try to come back into your life, part of that apprehension is perhaps because of the fact that they still don't really know exactly what it is that they want. Okay, we have something is still missing for them. We have that they feel safer in the silence. We have that they need to go their own way for a while, which to me would all sort of be indicating here between those 3 cards, I think it was, that they are still not ready, perhaps, to settle down. They still haven't figured themselves out yet. And I say that especially because that's something, it's funny because the same sort of message or vibe came out for pile 1 when it came to this card, but that's something is still missing for me and I'm trying to figure out what that is that there could very well still be something missing from this person / missing from this person's life that's making it difficult for them to reach out, that's making it difficult for them to still want to settle down. They perhaps still have a lot of the same issues and would then perpetuate a lot of the same issues that you've already been through with this person if they were to come back at this point in time, if that makes sense. Okay, and I feel like there's also the hesitancy because they're not quite sure of how you're going to react to them. And they know that they're going to have to take accountability. They know that they're going to have to apologize, and they know that if they're going to try to come back into your life, which I feel like for most of us, we don't want this person back in our lives, but if they are to come back into our lives, they know that they would have to really step up to the plate. And I don't feel like, based on some of the messages that came out here, particularly the I need to go my own way for a while, would be an indicator that this person's, ready and willing to rectify and reconcile this situation. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now let's get some oracle cards out here for the current energy of the connection. Okay, pile 2, what is the current energy of the connection between both of you? We have sleep on it. Think before you speak, get rest, don't sabotage, call it a day, need a break, sleep deprived. I would obviously say that the need a break is perhaps something that's taking place here, because to me this does feel very much so low or no contact when it comes to this person. I also feel like the think before you sleep is particularly perhaps what this person is doing. They're trying not to come back until they know that they are in a place to be able to do so, and that there's not still something missing from them or missing from their lives that's going to ultimately sabotage this connection all over again. We have the runner running out of the deck. So we have the runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. So that fear of intimacy is definitely something that's going to stand out here, the listening to the ego as well. But to me, it would also bring up something like a fear of commitment as well. That this person, whether it's in regard to time, effort, and energy, or whether it's in regard to them at times being sort of a cheater or a player, this person definitely does sabotage connections, and they definitely do run when things get a little bit too real, which is perhaps something that has occurred or a situation that you have dealt with already when it comes to this person. Perhaps when things were starting to get a little bit too intimate, a little bit too committed, this person ran away. And let's try to get another card or two. We have heartbroken, and even with that, it's like this person runs away. You yourself are now stuck dealing with the fallout of this situation. This person's already gone. They're already running. You get blindsided. You get hurt. You get heartbroken by the situation. And you don't really get the closure that you need from this person. Although I do feel like for most of us, we've had our own closure. We've because a lot of times too, I always say this when it comes to closure, you don't need somebody else to give you closure. You can give yourself closure. If you spend time focusing on yourself, and if you spend time, like doing certain things to help you find closure, that you will be able to find that closure on your own without any closure from this person. But when it's happening, and this person has run away, this person has sabotaged the connection, and you're left picking up your own pieces all on your own, and you've just been blindsided by this breakup or this ghosting or this person suddenly switching up on you, it's a lot to deal with, especially if this person's bad at commitment, and especially if this person like admittedly was not treating you well. You could have been left in this very hurt place by this person. You know, you could have been left really not knowing what the hell happened, when a lot of what is missing from this situation is due to your person. And your person needs to heal and to focus on themselves to get themselves out of this mindset that they're currently in regard to love. And you really had nothing to do with it. You know, something's missing from them. They're the one that's bad at commitment. They're the ones that can't commit their time, effort, and energy. They're the ones that perhaps for some of us played games, and they're the ones that didn't treat us well. Okay, so when it comes to this, something is missing for me. Something is missing from them, if that makes sense. Okay, something is missing from them that caused them to act at times very poorly toward you. Okay, and this situation obviously left you heartbroken, because I feel like when it's that runner thing, like, of course it's heartbreaking. Breakups are hurtful and harsh and they suck. But I do feel like there's something to be said when it's either extremely blindsiding to us. And let's try to get one more card out here. But for me, again, something is clearly missing from them. You know, something is clearly missing to make them run, to make them be bad at commitment, to make them fear intimacy. Something is missing from them that causes for them to sabotage. And they're the ones that need to figure this out. But for you, as far as closure, I feel like most of us have found closure already from this situation. You know, most of us have already moved on from this situation, and this person is still stuck on us. We kind of got a little twofer, so I'll see how I can fit them out. But we got narcissism and we have the guarded heart. So again, honestly, I feel like we kind of ended the current energy with the two things that I was picking up on. Like, this person's either a manipulative player bastard, or this person is someone whose walls, like, what does the card say? Love can't get through that wall. Or this person is someone who finds it very difficult to open up to others. This person is someone who fears emotional intimacy. This person is someone who is very guarded and just generally is not going to let somebody else in. And either way, it goes right in line with what I was saying when it comes to there's something missing from this person. And by missing, this person has a lot of behaviors to perhaps unlearn. So I do feel like I actually am really grateful that these two cards, because I don't usually like to keep it when two cards jump out. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let's keep it. And I feel like it's perfect because it's a perfect representation, perhaps, of the two different types of people that we're dealing with for whoever is listening to this. Again, we either have somebody that's really bad at commitment because of the fact that they did not commit their time, effort, and energy. They didn't show up. They didn't prioritize. They didn't say what it was that they should have said at the time, and they were very guarded, etc., and so on. Or we're dealing with somebody who's maybe a little narcissistic, but more so as somebody who's manipulative, controlling, infidelity, disregards boundaries, egocentric, entitled, selfish, or a rule breaker. So again, it just seems like to me, whatever side of the coin that we are on, this person, this is the thing too, though. If this person, we've known them to be manipulative and something is still missing for them, that would be a strong indication that this person is definitely someone you want to continue to steer clear from, because they have not figured out their own issues. And they're going to, again, perpetuate the same sort of patterns that perhaps they always have. And if this is somebody who was very guarded and they're bad at commitment in the sense that they were unable to, or they were not committing their time, effort, and energy to you, this person is very hesitant still to reach out. And either way you slice it, it does seem as though this connection right now is at a standstill. You perhaps at times are still feeling very hurt when it comes to this connection. This person is this person is trying to think before they speak. This person's trying to or wants to reach out to you, but they know it won't be received well because of what they have put you through in the past. And due to that, I do feel like this is sort of at a standstill right now when it comes to this connection. This person, like, I personally feel like it's not worth it for you at all for you to reach out to this person. And when it comes to this person, it seems like they are afraid of having to take accountability for their actions and are going to continue to hide in that silence. They're going to continue to go their own way for a while because they don't want to take accountability for their actions. And for some of them, let's say the ones that are guarded and lack of time, effort, energy, yada, 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 I would say that they are not in a position yet to give you anything more than what they were giving you in the past. So I hope that makes sense, Pile 2. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Hello, Pile 3, my opalite pile. Let's take a look at what your person wants to say to you. What is it that they have on their mind when it comes to you and when it comes to this connection? Okay, let's see. What is it that they want to say to you? I know you are right, but I need to come to my own conclusions. Okay, to the floor. I think it says, I still love you. What a sweet little message to get. Yep, I still love you. How could you still love me after all that I've done? I've looked you up online to see what you've been up to. So again, I'm going to have to title it this way. I preface this with the first 2 piles, but I usually go into these as, it could be that you are in contact with this person or not in contact with this person. But now we have all 3 piles where it's kind of been significant that it doesn't seem like y'all are in contact, or if you are in contact, it's very low contact. So this has now become a no contact messages from your person reading. Okay, they're looking you up online. I miss you regardless of how things seem. Let's get some other messages out here. Okay, pile 3, what does your person have to say for themselves? You are irreplaceable. I don't think I can take your reaction right now. Oh, to the floor again. I just got caught up in the moment. I miss the feel of you next to me. And the last card, of course, to the floor. I am trying to take responsibility for my actions right now. Please know this. So overall, it does seem like this person acknowledges and takes accountability for some of the mistakes or the missteps that they have made within this connection. Obviously seems as though this person misses you very, very much. But it does seem like they are still holding themselves back. It's almost like when it comes to they want to take accountability, or they want to take responsibility for what it is that they've done. They don't understand how you could still maybe have feelings for them, or how you could still have any love, let's say, in your heart left for them. But they are definitely very stuck on you, and they don't think that they can take your reaction. Regardless of how I acted, I look back on our connection and I regret not working it out with you at the time. Even that to me stands out, because perhaps whatever went on between the both of you, whatever it was that they did wrong, was something that at the time might have been able to be rectified right then and there, and they didn't put in that time, effort, and energy, and that's something that they're regretful of now. Even when it comes to that first message that came out, I know that you're right, but I need to come to my own conclusions. Maybe that was something that they were doing, or something similar to something that they might have said to you in the past. And now that they see that you've like moved on from the situation, or now that they see that the two of you just drifted further apart and never really got to that point of coming back together, or never really got back on the same page again, they're now very regretful of that. They might have felt like they needed time to figure things out on their own. And now that they have, you gracefully gave them that time to figure things out on their own. Now they're perhaps seeing that you're not just sitting there waiting around for them, if that makes sense. And perhaps now that, again, you're not sitting there waiting around for them, maybe the way that they thought that you would be, now they're like, I can't take the reaction right now, or I wouldn't be able to. It's almost like they're hesitant to reach out to you. They're hesitant to try to maybe resolve things now at this point, because they maybe feel that it's too late. Maybe they feel like at this point you wouldn't want to hear from them. Maybe they feel like they've made you wait too long. Whatever the case might be, at this point, they're definitely looking back at this connection, and they are regretful of the fact that they had a chance to do something about it and didn't. We have this card. I get so jealous when I see you with someone else, but I don't want you for myself. That to me is definitely something that could have occurred here in the past and could still be going on now. Like, again, that this person can't take your reaction at this point in time. They want to take accountability, but they're still holding themselves back at this point in time. Maybe because they see you with someone else and they are, envious of that. They're envious. I feel like when it comes to this person, it is almost like they're jealous, or they're irritated with the fact, like, they're not ready to go after you yet. They're still trying to come to their own conclusions, etc. Whatever the case might be. They're hesitant to come back because they don't want to confront you or have to face you and have to maybe own up or take accountability for things that they have done. But they still don't want to see you with someone else. It's like this message came out for one of the other piles too. I think it was pile 1. Something very similar to this, where it's just kind of like they're not ready to do anything about the connection that they share with you, but they also don't want to see you with anyone else. Let's try to get one more card out here, pile 3. I feel like you don't even want this anymore. And I feel like for some of them, they are correct in that statement. Okay. It's on camera, the best that I could get it on camera. But I feel like for many of us that are perhaps listening to this, we don't want this anymore when it comes to this person. We have perhaps moved on from this connection. There's something about this when it comes to this person, maybe they're starting to figure out that the two of you had something really good going, and they did not give you the time, effort, and energy. They did not give you the respect, the attention, the affection, the love that you deserved at the time when they had the chance to. Even this, I have like a love-hate relationship with this card. I just got caught up in the moment, because to me it can bring up so many different things. Like, to me, people could use it as an excuse, but for me, when it comes to the context of this reading, it does sort of seem like an excuse, maybe in regard to other things that this person had going on in their life at the time. Maybe it was that this person was prioritizing friendships. Maybe it was that this person was very all about their job, and they just were continuing to get all caught up in these other things outside of the connection, while not devoting the time, effort, and energy that the connection would have needed, if that makes sense. And I feel like there's this person that's very much so still stuck on you, but there's a part of this person that is very hesitant to take accountability for, and there's this part of this person that, doesn't really want to, even right now, move forward with this connection. Like they don't want you for themselves right now, because they're still not at a point in time in their life where they're going to be able to put in the time, effort, and energy, or to rectify the things that were not working in the past. It's like they maybe even know they at this point in time do not have the capability still of giving you what it is that you would want, need, deserve, and desire. and they know that they can't participate and be an equal partner, let's say, or a healthy relationship partner at this point in time. So they don't, it's like, it's so funny to me sometimes the way that these readings work out. You know, this person wanting to come to their own conclusions and now regretting that they took that time to come to their own conclusions. Them wanting you but not wanting you. And to me, it really leads me to like wanting to have their cake and eat it too. You know, they don't want to see you be with somebody else, but they're not at a position or a point in their life where they are ready to commit to you either. If that makes sense. And now let's get some oracle cards out here as far as the current energy of this connection. We have girl with a snake, empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable, and boundaries. So even when it comes to this connection, maybe at times you were feeling like you were getting charmed or used by this person. You know, maybe part of it, again, even if it's just in the sense of this person getting all caught up in the moment, doing all of these other things, putting their focus on everything else and prioritizing everything else and continuing to keep you second best or even less than second best at times. Whatever the case might have been, you might have felt like you were getting used within this connection because this person was not doing what it was that they signed up to do when they were in a relationship with you. If that makes sense. You know, like this person consistently was not showing up, was prioritizing perhaps many other things in their lives over you. And you were the one that things constantly fell back on. So let's say if you were married to this person or if you had a kid with this person, if they're prioritizing every single one of their friends, if they continue to prioritize their job and continue to put you and maybe like the family or the life that you guys had wanted to start as always being second best, that is something that's definitely going to destroy and chip away at the connection or the relationship over time. And as it continued, it would have definitely been something that had made you continue to feel used over time by this person. Okay, let's try to get a couple more cards from this deck. We have boat, and we have receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, and closure issues. So maybe one or both of you have closure, are having issues when it comes to closure with this connection. For some reason now I'm stuck on, like, for some of us, maybe we have to co-parent with this person. Maybe for some of us, even that one message, how could you still love me after all I've done? That's like a lot of, let's say, that's coming from your person. You know, so I find that interesting. And maybe for them, they're always going to have some love in their heart for you. And maybe for you, you're always going to have like a little love in your heart for them, just because of the fact if the two of you were married or if the two of you are co-parenting or have a child together. It's something that might always make the two of you have to have somewhat of a bond with one another, or there's always going to be that little bit of love that you have for that person. And I also feel like when it comes to that boat card in general, it's like we maybe did not receive what we needed from this person. But I also feel like for the most part, we've been moving on with our lives. We've been finding the closure that we need. We have the dragonfly. And the things that I want to say most stand out to me is the last couple of messages on the card: adapt, change, and heal. Whatever the situation was with this person, we have moved on, we have adapted, we have changed, we have healed. When it comes to this person, I feel like this person is trying to do that exact same thing. You know, they're trying to do what it is that they maybe should have done for some of us years ago when it comes to this connection. And even though they might not be in a position to be able to have you back or to be back in your life, they still want to, or still have this sense of needing to take accountability for, or wishing that, looking back on it, like they themselves now wish that they would have had it in them to be able to show up for you in the way that you needed in the past, if that makes sense. But I feel like, again, this person, they're trying to also adapt, change, and heal. And I feel like for a lot of us, we have been doing that since this connection perhaps ended. You know, we've been moving away from them. And I feel like that's also because for a lot of us, this connection was seemingly falling apart, especially in this sense of if we're the ones that are constantly putting in our 100% and we're getting met with like somewhere between 0 and 25% from our partner, it's something that, of course, is going to make us begin to maybe pull back or pull away. And we end with the sunglasses card. And again, I'm really only going to take like the watching and looking. Hopefully not for anyone is this going to bring up stalking or gaslighting, perception, focusing out. I feel like it's more like the watching and looking, and that goes back to the I've looked you up online to see what you've been up to. You know, I feel like this person has had you on their mind a lot, perhaps recently, maybe because of all the healing. Maybe they're finally trying to focus on themselves, and maybe they're finally trying to focus on growing up, per se. You know, like maybe they're trying to focus on and take accountability for some of their past mistakes. And I do feel like, with that said, they're looking you up to see what it is that you've been up to. You've been on their mind a lot. And I also feel like that would go in line with why they're maybe jealous to see you with someone else, but they don't want you for themselves. It's like they're maybe at this point in their own healing or in their own trying to move on from this connection. And again, grow up a little bit when it comes to the way that they usually act in relationships. And in that, it's like they're not really ready yet. They don't want to be back in your life yet, or they don't maybe even want to, like they don't want you for themselves or whatever that message says, but they still have you, and they still have this connection very much so on their mind, regardless of how much time it has been for this connection. And I feel like a large part of that is due to the fact that they are focusing on healing, and they're focusing on taking accountability for, and they're focused on rectifying some of these things perhaps that they themselves know that they need to improve upon. I hope that makes sense, Pile 3. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day.